Hey fam, I am God's only current earth angel. If this is the first time you're seeing me, I highly suggest you head back to the intro. Figure out if you want to be here. If so, start at part 1, do the work, and then meet us back here when you caught up. For everyone else, this is part 110. Today, I'm going to go over some helpful tips that I feel really helped me with my healing. Okay, so the first part of healing, no matter what, is leaving the past in the past and letting go. We have to do that with everything in order to heal and grow and be able to move on. So most times when we think about forgiving, we think about forgiving those who have hurt us. Everything we do has to start from within. If we don't first forgive ourselves for the things that we've done wrong or that we're not proud of or we're embarrassed of or we know have sinned, we're never ever going to be able to fully move on or forgive others or grow. So first things first is you have to forgive yourself. So if there is anybody that you have done wrong or you've hurt that you need to ask their forgiveness and you don't have access to that, to them, or being able to communicate with them, those are things that you need to pray to God and ask God for forgiveness. Anybody here in the physical that you can obviously apologize to and ask for forgiveness, try to do that. Obviously, that's first step. Second step is if you're not able to, ask God for forgiveness. But of course, God's going to always know your heart. God's going to know if you truly mean it. And the only way that you'll fully be released of your past is if you're coming from an honest place in your heart. Like you truly, truly are sorry. Okay, you also have to forgive yourself for allowing others to hurt you or not speaking up sooner or allowing things to go on for so long or allowing these people to stay in our lives. Whatever it may be, we're so hard and harsh on ourselves. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. And part of that is forgiving yourself for not protecting yourself. Now, with that being said, obviously, if you were a victim and you didn't have a choice, there's a lot of people that don't have a choice to protect themselves. But even if you couldn't protect yourself from it, there's still a guilt that you carry with it that this awful thing has happened to you. And if you could have somehow changed it or lessened it or changed it sooner, this is the part you have to forgive yourself for. We're actually the hardest on ourselves. And this is things that our mind will keep pulling us back to that past and we're not able to be in our present. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. And this is so hard because we're the hardest on ourselves. Like we're not nice to ourselves in our mind, especially if we're thinking about things that we weren't proud of. This is why you have to forgive yourself. Now, if you can forgive yourself, that kind of goes along with self-love. Like these gifts kind of tie into each other. And that's why when you're on a healing journey and you're actually like working on becoming a better person and paying attention to these 7 gifts, they kind of tie together and they start coming in quickly. Once you start embodying them, the other ones are so interconnected that you start getting your gifts pretty quickly. Okay, another big one that stumped me that I feel like I was held back because of was my inability to stick up for myself against other people, especially those I love. So sometimes, even though our heart is stuck somewhere, we have to realize that the way people treat us is how they feel about us. And if we're not being treated well, you staying somewhere that you're not being treated well or you're being lied to or you're being cheated on and you know this and you choose to stay, you don't have love for yourself. And you're keeping yourself from growing. You're keeping yourself from being able to get into heaven. You're hurting yourself to stay with somebody who doesn't care enough about you to not hurt you. So you have to be able to start walking away. You have to start leaving situations and people and family that aren't good for your well-being. It's actually probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do in my entire life is leave people that I love behind. But with that being said, those who truly love me and support me and don't hurt me are right where they belong, right next to my side. So the thing is, as long as you have people in your life that don't belong in your life, you're holding up space that belong to those people who do belong in your life. So as I've said, we're all a part of each other's hurt and turmoil to cause us to grow. We have to have growth, which means we have to release to grow. We have to release those who aren't supposed to be in our lives, even though we love them, because some people come and go for reasons. We have to release them so that the people, places, and things that do belong in our life can come in. But as long as you're holding that space for things that do not belong, the things that belong in your life will never come. So for an example, if you're in a relationship that doesn't flow and doesn't feel right and isn't based on love and respect, then that person probably isn't your soulmate. You guys were supposed to move on at some point so that you could meet your soulmate, but because you chose to stay where you know you don't belong, because you know it don't feel good, that's what you chose for your life. And what you were supposed to get out of this life you never got, because you chose to sit right where you are because that's where you're comfortable, or you don't feel like you can do better or get better. But because you're sitting somewhere uncomfortable and taking up that space, the beautiful things you're supposed to have, you're never going to experience. Part of being able to release the people, places, and things that don't belong with you, even if you love them, is self-love. It's a part of self-love. It's also a part of forgiveness. To walk away from people means that they had to hurt you. Or not show up for you the way you showed up for them. Whatever the reason may be, you also have to forgive them to be able to fully move on. I think another big one was it's easy to be kind and treat your family well, but to fully embody kindness and compassion, you actually have to treat everybody well. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that you have to allow others to mistreat you. God never wants you to be mistreated. So there is going to be times that you have to stand up for yourself. But for the most part, to embody kindness and compassion, well, I'm telling you guys, these all work together. You have to be kind and compassionate to everyone, not just those that you love. Okay, integrity, you guys. This blows my mind. I truly believe every person on earth should have this gift because we should all be doing what is right all the time. The majority of people do not have integrity. And they're just not honest. So all you have to do literally to get this gift is do what you're supposed to do when no one's looking all the time, because you know it's right. Okay, you guys, I hope some of that stuff helps you on your healing journey. So for now, choose to not be a shitty person. Choose to grow. Choose to help others. Choose love. Choose a light. God bless.